Oh man, you just should just hear the things we talk about before the video starts. But
Yeah,
anyway,
we're back.
we're back doing a Vanderbilt recap.
You know,
His phone just lit up and it distracted me. Sorry.
that's cool. Bill and
But we
Ted here,
got
guys.
Bill and Ted,
Yeah.
Vanderbilt. We're talking about Vanderbilt this week. We got Vanderbilt on the road. Um, oh man, I've lost it. Let's
Yeah,
get back on track.
let's try to stay focused here. Unlike our Gamecock counterparts. Bill and Ted, keeping it real. We're gonna tell you about Vanderbilt. I really couldn't tell you much about them. I mean, they looked bad against Georgia, but guess what?
Really bad.
Stuff happens. We looked bad against Kentucky in the second half, and that's what happens. But I don't expect to go out there and be all like, "Oh my God, we lost to Kentucky! Oh, rah, rah, rah," bloodlust, and then go destroy Vanderbilt. We're not,
We're not that.
we're
type
not
of team,
Florida
right?
with Tim Tebow.
Right.
We can't, be like, "I promise that no one will work as hard as me," and then go out there and kill everybody by 50 points. That's just not going to happen.
I didn't hear Garcia or Alshon say that this week.
Yeah, so it's just whatever. I'm looking forward to the game. I'm glad it's another away game, so I can kind of just sit back and relax. And I know we don't play well on the road, so I'm kind of scared for this game, but it's whatever. I think that we can still win this game. I just think that we just have to get the focus there. You got to focus for 60 minutes, not until you feel comfortable with your lead.
Because obviously we've seen, if you watch last week's game, there's no lead as comfortable.
Yeah.
28-10, you ought to win that game easily.
But
obviously you don't sometimes. So definitely focus. But I think a big thing that I'm going to be watching most for this week is just our defense.
Yeah.
I think our offense is fine.
Yeah.
Yes, Garcia does some bonehead stuff, but I think I can live with that.
Yeah.
He hasn't really cost us one yet. I mean, you can argue the Auburn game, but he hasn't really made a huge mistake.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the receivers kind of speak for themselves. The offensive line is doing phenomenal
compared to
last year. Marcus Lattimore's probably not going to play, but I think Kenny Miles and Brian Maddox can step in and handle that. But I'm really watching the defense. I want to see some adjustments being made. If Vanderbilt is completing those 7-yard passes, finding spots in the zone, I want to see us stop that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if we're winning 42-0 or 7-0. I mean, I want to see us stop that.
Yeah. I completely agree with you. I think the offense is fine. I think, like everyone wants to hate on Garcia or whatever. He does make bonehead plays or whatever, but it comes with the position. You can't expect perfection out of your quarterback. I think if, we were fans of another team, I think we'd be kind of making the argument about, like, the same player. I think, if we were LSU fans, we'd be like, oh, my gosh, Jefferson, what are you doing? Jarrett Lee, what are you doing? Brantley, what are you doing?
Right. What is Brantley doing?
I don't know. But it's just one of them. It's that position that you just love to hate on.
And you've already heard it said before, the most popular player on the team is always the backup quarterback. But and I think our backup is good. I think Connor Shaw is wonderful, but I don't think he's ready to take over the team.
Exactly. That's why he's called the future. That's why people are calling him, and he's the future.
Right.
You know what? The future ain't here yet, so we're going to have to play with Garcia right now. Not to take nothing away from Shaw, because I think he throws a great ball and everything. I just don't think that he's mentally adjusted to the speed of SEC defenses yet,
right.
Which is kind of understandable. It's a big jump from high school to college, and I feel sorry for a lot of quarterbacks that get thrown into that that pressure like that. It's really tough, and it can mess with your head a little bit. If you come out to have a rough start,
Right.
But I'm pretty excited. For the offense this year. I thought they've exceeded my expectations. Lattimore is obviously the biggest surprise for us.
Oh yeah.
And I think maybe he needs some rest. Even if even if he could go this week, I would want to play it safe because, like you said, I think them other guys could do fine, and I think they need them reps.
Right.
I think they need some more in-game experience. They, last year, they were the two guys. But
and obviously this should be an eye-opener that anybody can get hurt at any time.
Exactly.
And you obviously want your backups to have a little bit of game experience.
Yes.
Kenny Miles hadn't carried the ball any this year, and he was the main guy last year. So he's probably lost some speed, I would think, just because of not being in games.
Yeah.
But I think with Lattimore being hurt, that just shows that anybody can get hurt whenever. So especially at skill positions, you need to have backups that are serviceable. But I'm going to look at the defense. Defense last week, quite frankly, sucked.
I'll They did, but I will give credit to C.C. Whitlock. I thought he covered well.
See,
I mean, he covered well, and I don't see why we didn't just have that man intensity like that.
And considering that he's the undersized
for
the most part anyway,
yeah.
I mean, he does an excellent job of covering
he went
guys.
up. I mean, he went up last week against that guy, knocked that ball to the ground. That's great coverage. You know, I don't. That was great coverage. I mean, he went up against Julio Jones. I mean, that was just an obvious like size mismatch that he had no chance at. But you know what? He looked like a phenomenal athlete going out there and trying to make a play.
Oh, yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. I mean, I don't really know exactly what Vanderbilt has to offer to the table. I mean, I'm not trying to say that I don't care about Vanderbilt and I think they're garbage and they're not worth watching. That by no means. But I mean, it's like we've played a lot of home games so far, and I haven't really had time to sit down and watch everyone play yet. But that's why I'm glad I'm getting to sit home this week and still relax. And I'll actually get to see what Vanderbilt is all about. I mean, I got to see the Georgia game, but I mean, I don't buy into Georgia being that many points better than them. I don't buy into that at all. I just think that it was just kind of one of them things where they got down and they just kind of put their head down. And I don't expect them to do that this week. I expect them to be coached up and ready to play this game. And,
And if they watched any film, you got to know that the 7-yard pass is coming. I mean, you've got to know that if they watched any one play from the Kentucky game, you got to think that's what they're coming. So I definitely think they're going to have a little bit of a game plan prepared, and I expect it to be a little bit of a fight. Now, I do think we should.
I think we should win
fairly easily, but obviously
but it doesn't happen that way. It's like I'll say it's the SEC, and I think that it's the best top to bottom conference every year. I don't care what anyone on ESPN says this year about how the West is carrying the SEC. I don't buy into that at all. I mean, I still think top to bottom we compete well with anyone. I think maybe the East is a little bit down this year, but I think it's more or less the top guys are down and the lower guys have come up a little bit, and it just kind of makes the top guys look a little bit worse than what they really are.
And it makes every game every week interesting.
Yeah.
There's not a boring game in the SEC generally.
I mean, isn't there like 5 teams in the West ranked right now?
Yeah.
And us. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's pretty intense.
So, I mean, half your conference is ranked. I mean, that's not too bad.
I mean, it's coming from the West Division, but I mean, I just want to see like these other schools play. They're out of conference. I mean, Georgia and Tennessee, didn't have great games against Colorado or Oregon, but I mean, and it's expected. I mean,
and Oregon's obviously the new number 1. So
yeah,
not too many.
Oregon's good, so I mean, I didn't expect Tennessee to beat them, but
they hung with them though for a while.
Yeah, they hung with them for a while, and I think Georgia has finally found their identity, and I think if they play Colorado again today, I think it would be a completely different story.
Right.
But I just think that it's still a tough conference, and I think from top to bottom, I think any team in this conference has a chance to beat any team in this conference. I mean, I think if Vanderbilt went through and they played every team in the conference, I think they wouldn't lose out. Right. I think if Ole Miss played every team in the conference, they wouldn't lose out. I mean, they're obviously not. I mean, Vanderbilt beat Ole Miss, and Ole Miss beat Kentucky, and Kentucky beat us, and we beat Alabama, and
Alabama won the national championship last year.
I mean, it's just how it happens. It's just the way this conference is set up, and I like that because it shows how strong we really are.
Oh, yeah.
But I hate it because it's like, well, I really believe that we were better than this team, but we still lost. But I mean, it's just the way things are. I mean, it's like it's kind of like professional football almost with the SEC. It's really hard for them teams to go undefeated. I mean, I know that they have a couple of them that do it kind of, and then they rest their starters and usually don't pull it through all the way or whatever. Right. But I mean, I think it's a great conference to watch because that it's going to be, for the most part, a hard played game, and it's going to be close and everything, and you have the Mad Hatter, so you never know what's going to go on with him.
Yeah, you never know how he's going to win.
He's got luck or something. I don't know. Maybe he prays. Maybe he's like just the best prayer there ever was, and Jesus just is rewarding him. I don't know. I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's a fun conference. I know we hadn't really talked much about Vanderbilt, but there's not really much I can really say about them. I mean, they got a new coach. I haven't been able to watch them much. I mean, I think they're better than a lot of teams that aren't in our conference.
Right.
I mean, I don't think they're better than us, but hey, that don't mean that they're going to lose. I mean, and I still think we're better than Kentucky. I mean,
right. But
just
obviously
think
we didn't win.
We didn't win. Yeah, I mean.
But I do think that one thing that Gamecock fans need to. I kind of picture this as a new season. We're halfway through.
Mm-hmm.
It's a new season. We've lost 2 games. We won one that we thought we probably wouldn't, and we lost one that we thought we probably wouldn't. So you kind of balance each other out. But we still control our destiny in the East.
Yeah. I mean,
you got to win out, but it's not impossible.
Yeah.
So I think of this as a new season. Start over. Forget Kentucky. I know that's kind of hard to do because obviously that was one that you thought you should have won. But forget Kentucky and move on. Watch the film. Figure out what you did wrong. Obviously, defense is obviously a big issue right now. I'm not sure what the issue is because last year we had the number 5 overall defense in the country. So I'm not sure what's changed. But it's a new season. You can get those things right. I'm gonna move forward. We've got Vanderbilt on the road, and we also have Arkansas and Tennessee at home left, and then Florida on the road. Then we finish up with Clemson and Troy right before that. So we've got 4 SEC games left.
Something like that. Yeah.
I definitely think we can win all of them.
Yeah, I mean, we have a great shot.
But you've got to focus, and you've got to get back to what you were doing when you were winning. Yeah. And that's having a strong defense and a good balanced offense. Yeah. And I think that starts this week we get Vanderbilt. I don't think we'll kill them because I don't think we're that kind of a team yet where we can just destroy lesser opponents. But I do think we should win fairly easily, and it obviously wouldn't surprise me if Connor Shaw got some snaps late in the game. I do think you'll see a lot of Maddox and Giles, not Giles, Brian Maddox. Running in, and Kenny Miles. I think you'll see a lot of Kenny Miles, but Marcus Simon probably won't play, which is fine. We shouldn't need him. I think it'll be a quick game. I think we'll run the ball and try to wear them down.
Yeah.
And hopefully our defense can stay off the field. They were on the field, it seemed like the entire Kentucky game. So hopefully our offense can put together some long 6, 7, 8 minute drives to give the defense some rest.
Yeah, that's kind of how I see the game too. I don't think it's going to be a blowout or nothing. I think maybe we might jump out quickly on them, and then kind of, I hate to say it, but just fold up into kind of conserve, not really
give it a little Lou Holtz treatment.
Yeah, pretty much give it the Lou Holtz treatment.
Run,
because we want to get them running backs, all the work we can.
Right.
So I think we're gonna, just. I think Shaw will get in kind of early, but not because we're blowing them out, but because we need to get reps. And, I think we're going to be doing a lot of, just, handing it off and running.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that'll be kind of a good thing for him, just send him in there, let him hand the ball off, maybe throw a few, not nothing crazy. But, I don't expect him to be throwing, deep balls downfield or nothing.
I think so.
Probably, maybe like throw a screen or, hit the the wide receiver hit a running back on a wheel route or whatever. I mean, I just expect it to be kind of a very vanilla game on our part, because we got to discover who we are without Lattimore.
Right.
Because anyone can go down at any time, and we need to figure out, who we are when we lose our best player or whatever. Because football is not a game about your best 11; it's who has the best team. And we proved that we're a completely different team without Lattimore, and on offense and on defense, we're just not there mentally. I think it's a lack of focus. I think maybe we have too much trouble communicating the play when we're on the road because it's just so loud.
Right.
And I think we need to work on maybe getting the plays in there faster or something. Because you see a lot of communicating on when you watch the games on TV. I see them doing signals to each other, and half the time the people don't even they're not even paying attention to see what the other players are telling them to do.
Right.
And so I just think that it's a coaching thing, but I'm not saying I want to fire anybody. I was pretty mad after the game last week that I was saying we should fire people, but that's just me nerd raging over here. I think we just need to. I just think that they can just do better.
Right. So that's Vanderbilt. Hopefully we'll come back next week and have positive recap video for you. So we're out of time.
Yeah.
See you later.
See ya.
Point and go. That was awkward.